Okay, so with the today's session, we are going to learn about the AI or how we can use the Gen AI in the DevOps. So why we need to use AI? So AI is an technology which is artificial intelligence and that you can use for any use cases. So you can use it for the coding, you can use it for asking questions and getting answers for that. Also, you can use it for optimizations or understanding concepts and cloud related tech stack as well. You can use it for the Linux or anything, any technology, correct? Any technologies. So previously, what happened? Everyone was checking with the queries or asking questions on Stack Overflow, correct? I hope you guys have used Stack Overflow previously for debugging or trying the issues. Anyone of you have used the Stack Overflow or any sites as such?
Mm,
That is used, correct, Sagar?
yes.
Yeah. So basically, whenever we are facing some problems, issues, we can troubleshoot it on Stack Overflow. So nowadays, the AI is going very popular. So we are having couple of tools, correct? ChatGPT or other tools are also there, like Bito tool is also there, or the GitHub Copilot, correct? GitHub Copilot. So multiple tools are there which are from the AI technology. Not only this, you can also have the Olama framework that you can be install on your machine and you can ask question for that. So multiple means 1,000 plus or I would say 5,000 plus applications are there in the market with the AI platform. And this is something like nowadays for the every engineer, they should understand AI, what is AI, how AI can help you to grow more or understand things better, how you can troubleshoot the issues faster, correct? So what is the current process currently? So let's say if you are trying or are working on any particular task, you need to be have that particular required knowledge, and in case some issues you face, you are going to the senior person or someone who is expert in that area, correct? You are asking for the help. So you need to be have some reliability is there, means you need to be keep some patience based on that person time availability. You need to be work with him and then he will be solve those issues, correct? So like that, you need to be collaborate with the team and you need to be solve the issue. So that is the manual way. But with the AI based platform, you can ask the questions, you can get answers, and you can troubleshoot it faster, correct? So that is something like self learning platform, or you can ask any type of questions, any particular problems, and get those answers and solve those your query. So anything. So how to use that, correct? So with the today's session, we will learn the chat GPT, how to use chat GPT and how we can solve the use cases, solve use cases for DevOps. Okay. So right now means you understand DevOps, correct? Let's say what is DevOps or the DevOps tools and technologies, correct? So all these details or setup related part you have gone through till this session or assignments as well, correct? Like let's say shell script or the Docker commands or the Docker setup or the Kubernetes as well. So all these things you have learned so far. So how to use that? So for that you need to be have the chat GPT. So you can just Google it from the browser and you can just search that by using chat GPT and Here you can ask anything, correct? So you can ask the questions like, or you can talk with that particular bot as well, correct? So you can ask like, I need to be, so this is just an example, but you can ask anything. I need to be understand what is DevOps. Can you please explain? Okay. So you can ask him to explain the DevOps. So it will be give the particular answers, and you can also ask another questions on that. Give me DevOps definition. Okay. So it will be give the particular options or the data as an answer. So you can ask the questions, it will give the answer. And you can also ask the follow-up questions on that. So here you can see it has just given the all inputs or the required data here. So you can ask another question. Let's say you need to be understand DevOps tools list. So whatever which is there in your mind, you can ask, correct? So here it has started giving answers like version control with the multiple tool, continuous integration, continuous deployment tool, Jenkins, Circle CI, GitLab, Azure, configuration management tool, Ansible, Shape, Puppet, and what is those tools, correct? Ansible here it has given like management and automation. Similar like this, it's giving multiple options, correct? So monitoring and logging tool, Grafana or ELK, Splunk. So all these things it's giving, correct? So similar like that, you can ask the another questions as well, more technical questions. Let's say, give me command to check operating system version on Ubuntu. Okay. So right now I'm logged in by using the laptop, correct? And this is my local machine, and I have installed the Ubuntu operating system, correct? So here, if you go through on the softwares and all, it's showcasing like this is having Ubuntu operating system and multiple servers or the data is installed there. So let's say I want to check the commands. I can execute any command on the terminal. So right now here I have executed this. It's showing home mesh. So it's the pwd command. So let's say I want to check that by using ChatGPT. So as any beginner, you don't have those idea, correct? So you can ask those questions and get that clarity. So here it's showcasing this particular command, correct? So you can just copy paste that and try it out. So this is the example how you can use it for your DevOps related practices. So if the interviewer asks you like, what is the command which you need to be try for the checking operating system version? So you can just do practice around this, correct? So all questions, all the problem statements, anything. So related to the related to any operations, you can try it out and get those problems solvable. Correct. So this is how means you can ask any problem statements or questions to the chat GPT and get those clear. Correct. So it will have some limitations as well. Means you can try with only limited time, or you need to be have that account created there. You can create the account and you can use it. So now I'm asking some more commands. So let's say I want to create Docker image for the Tomcat. Then I can ask the question. So create Docker file for creating Docker image for Tomcat 8 and Ubuntu OS. So let's say I want Ubuntu OS in Docker, and on top of it, I want to install Tomcat 8. So I require Docker file for that. So Docker file, what is Docker, that we learned already in the previous session. So let's say I have asked that to the chat GPT, it will give me answer, correct? So right now it doesn't given any Docker file to me. Now you can ask questions like give me code for Docker file or above example. Okay. So whatever which is there in your mind, you can ask that, correct? So it's as showcasing or given the example with the with the these particular options, and here you can able to see the Docker file syntax. So this syntax is known to you, correct, about the Docker file? Yes or no? So that we already done in the previous session. Okay, Sagar, Ashwini, Shruti, I hope you understand this, correct? Docker file. And this is like means you can ask any assignments or questions to the chat GPT and it will be guide you, correct? So now you can ask like give me command to run Docker image with memory and CPU as an argument. Okay. So it will give those particular commands as well. So you can pass the minus minus memory and CPU as an option to Docker run command. Okay. So similarly like this, you can also create the Docker registry or other request setups as well. You can ask example for, let's say you need to be uh, create the shell script, correct? So you can ask those questions as well, like create shell script to check server health about CPU and RAM usage and print it on terminal. Okay, so let's say I want to just check like CPU and RAM for my machine. I can create the shell script, correct? And that shell script is like combination of the commands. So it will give the code base as well to you. So you can just try it out. So here you can see it has tried out the eco CPU usage, eco RAM usage, disk usage. Anything you want, whatever you want, it will solve all the use cases, correct? So GenAI is mainly designed for that. So let's say you want to try out these particular commands or the things, you can try it out on your machine, correct? So let's say I have copied this and I have to try this. So this is the shell script syntax, correct? Bash and CPU usage or top command, df minus h command. So these we already run. So let's say we have to execute this. Okay, we have to execute this. So those command also it will give. So here you can see like create the .sh file and you can execute it with the dot slash in that particular file. So let's say dot slash and then it will have the test dot sh syntax. Oh, the sh test dot sh syntax. Here you can able to see means the CPU usage with the 21%, then RAM usage, like total RAM is 7.7 GB and use 3.5 GB, correct? Here the disk usage is the 41 GB is there, and uh, so available is 143 GB, and out of that it used the 41 GB, correct? So this is how maybe you can try out any script or any automation for debugging purpose and ask those particular things to the chat GPT or the Gen AI. So Gen AI is like generative AI. or artificial intelligence, I would say. So for that, you don't require any deep knowledge, correct? So because GenAI is helping you or solving all use case. So you can ask anything. Let's say you need to be, so Kubernetes we learn. So let's say I have to ask like I required YML for deploying Spring Boot application by using the YML or Kubernetes thing. So let's sh share those particular YMLs to me. So those also we can ask and it will give the 100% working solution to you. So let's say, let me ask like, give me YML for creating namespace. Okay. Namespace for Tomcat and deploying my Tomcat image on that namespace. You can also ask like, give me service YML as well with node port to check Tomcat is up or not. Okay. So here you can able to see it's preparing for answer and it will give the those particular YML syntax as well. So first you can also see like it has given the step by step answer. First it has created namespace. Then second it has created deployment YML. Okay. Then it has applied the replica count one and image name is also there and port name is also there. Once that is done, it has also created service. Correct. So it has also created service too. Okay. So it has also created service and by using this, you can able to configure your YMLs and use that. Correct. So GenAI is also just giving those particular answers to you, but you need to be have idea about how to use that, how to apply that. For that, you should have the Kubernetes cluster with you, correct, with the required access control. So you can apply those or you can create those YMLs and apply those commands. So it's giving all required suggestions there, correct? So understand. I hope you guys understand this, how we have taken the help from the GenAI, which is freely available. Means you just need to be know like how to use it. So if you are able to achieve that or use that, you can be expertise or increase your productivity. Correct. So you don't need to be asked questions to any senior members or the expert members. Correct. So because GenAI is or the this AI is giving all correct answers to you in very short time, means whatever it has those particular capabilities, it's giving all these things in very short time. So you can unblock yourself by using this GenAI platform. And ChatGPT is not only the one tool, correct? So there is bar tool is also there, which is developed by Google. Other tools are also there, correct? So Olama tool is also there, which you can install on local and try out or asking those particular questions. So in DevOps means one use case is solving or asking questions to GenAI and use it for troubleshooting. So this is one of the use case which we discussed so far. Another use case is you can also integrate the OpenAI APIs, and in that you can configure or use the GenAI. So you can ask questions and get automated script generation from the GenAI with the Groovy script, with the Jenkins file syntax, or with the YMLs as well, correct? As per your requirement, you can implement automated monitoring. So entire automation thing you can able to solve by using GenAI, correct? So this is very interesting stuff. So let's say you need to be understand Jenkins file syntax. So those questions also you can ask here. Give me Jenkins file syntax for building for cloning, then building and deploying Spring Boot app. Give me sample example with code. Okay. So it will give all required codes, whatever you are asking in questions. So here you can able to see it as setup agent any means any slave. Then it has setup required environments, and after that you can add the particular stages like cloning that particular repository. You can clone that, then you can build it, and you can also deploy it. So for building, you require to execute yum clean install or yum clean package commands. Then you can also deploy that, correct? So for deploying, you require jar applications or Java path. You can also build the Docker container or deploy Docker container. You can also send the email as well. So let's say you want to send email in this script, you can ask here, like I want to send email as well with for the for failure build. So let's say you want to send email on failure, it will also add that code base as well. So here you can able to see at the last in failure, it has used the email related syntax, correct? And for email, you can configure the subject, body, or CC or two related participants as well. So all this data it will give you. But for trying out, you should have idea about those tools and setups and all. Correct. So then only you can able to understand that. So that's why means DevOps is not like you can just use the chat GPT and learn the entire DevOps. So for DevOps, you should have the better idea about the processes, concepts, then setups, and once you have all these things with you, then you can leverage your knowledge by using the ChatGPT or other AI related tools, correct? And then you can use those AI tools as well to improve or the productivity for your day-to-day activities. So whatever you are facing problems or challenges on day-to-day basis that you can tackle with by using the AI option. So nowadays means the entire companies or all organizations are uh, interested to use the AI platform, correct? Because it's increasing the productivity of the entire team. But for how to use those particular platform or the things, that is also a very known point, so or interesting point, because most of the members are not aware about this and they don't have idea about how to use the AI platform, correct? So that's why I have taken this today's session, how you can ask the questions for whatever you are having doubts with the GenAI tools. Yeah, Atif, I think you are having some questions.
Yes, Mahesh sir. I have a quick question. It's not related even with this one, but like, if I were to ask you what is Spring Boot, what it does, like just to have a overall idea. I know it's a middleware, but what is its job? Like, like, can you give me an example from like Windows world, like before the Docker and all that? Like, is it like IaaS? What it is?
Yeah, your question is related to the GenAI or AI platform or in general, like what is
No,
Spring
no.
Boot?
In general, what is Spring Boot? Like we know that we using the Gen AI, we can create an app. We would have Spring Boot, and it would write us all the codes. But my question is basic. I know Nginx is a reverse proxy, so it's
Yeah,
basically
so
you can.
so before Spring Boot, you should have idea about the Spring, correct? So mainly Spring is for the package manager, or I would say like the framework for the Java application. And by
Okay,
using that, you can create the Java application. Means for the entire package manager thing, you can have the war-based application or jar-based application.
What
But
about the node? What about the node npm? What's that? Is that a
Node
different thing?
npm is the utility or the package manager thing for the UI application, correct? So npm is the node package manager. So that is something developed for the UI application only. So
Okay,
similarly,
yeah.
Spring
So
is for the backend application.
got it, got it. Like, that these questions stem from the fact that I don't have a development background.
Correct,
So that's why. But anyway, I just wanted to know enough that what it does, and maybe I'll do some
correct.
Googling
Yeah,
about it.
and
And
Spring is mainly developed for the Java only. And
yeah. Okay.
another concept is Spring Boot as well, correct? So in Spring, the pom.xml is there. By using that, you can create the packages or download dependencies and all and build your application, correct? That application you can deploy on Tomcat or anywhere. So that is the Spring. Another thing is Spring Boot is also there. So Spring Boot is the easier way or the modern way for
So
writing the
so
backend
so
UI.
Mahesh sir, now Tomcat is Apache, right? That's like Internet Information Server, right? That's like an IaaS, right? Where you basically
Yes, yes.
now the Nginx, is that different? I thought it was like, anyway, maybe so many questions, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar, correct. So using Nginx is something like the HTTPD, correct. So HTTPD is an service and you can ask how you can hit that and try with accessing application. So similar, the Nginx is also there, correct. So you can access the
Like for
application.
example, now when I deployed the pod to the AWS cluster, right?
Mhm.
And also I deployed it to my Minikube also, right? So
Mhm.
what is in the background running on AWS? As is that Tomcat that's running my this site Hello World that I shared, or even on the Minikube? What is running this? Like
Yeah, so
what is
it's
IaaS?
running in the background those particular application, correct? So let's say if you are deploying the Hello World Spring Boot application, it's internally deploying it in under the Tomcat, correct? And
Ah, okay. And
it,
when I'm doing it, sir, on the Minikube, when I do it on my own server, then also Minikube in the background is running some kind of Tomcat or something similar to run that.
no, so Minikube is an cluster, correct? EKS is an cluster that is part of Kubernetes. On top of that,
Okay.
you are running your Docker image, correct? And in that Docker image, your application is running, means that can be Tomcat or Nginx.
No, that's what I'm saying. So Minikube, because Minikube never asked me, it installed a whole bunch of stuff. So it must have installed the Tomcat kind or whatever kind to get this one up, right?
Yes, correct,
Right. Yeah, because that's my understanding.
correct.
So
So you
I
can
thought,
imagine like on the cluster, or you can imagine the ocean, correct? So on ocean there are multiple ships are there, and with each ship there are multiple containers, correct? So like this, you can imagine that setup for the Kubernetes.
like,
And
if I can
so,
share my screen very quickly to show this, just 1 minute, maybe that would make more
yeah,
sense.
yeah, you can share. Let me give the access to you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, okay. So I'll just basically will take only allow Zoom workspace to, okay, use so may not be able to record the content of this one. So maybe I'm just trying to share my screen. Yeah. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Okay, so this is my server, right? This is my uh, 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 what you call the Ubuntu server, right? So you name so that's where I have the latest one running. Now, in this one, you can see I deployed it to 3000 ports, so on my own machine here. And then I deployed it on 5000 also. But then I deployed the same application on port 5000 before it was on 3000. and then I also deployed. So here, Mahesh sir,
So
where
when you are
it's running
talking about deployed, have you deployed with the native installation, with the Docker, or with the Kubernetes?
with Docker, with the Minikube, like Docker image,
Yeah. So
kubectl
on
to
the
Docker F
Minikube,
deployment.
you have deployed your container, correct? On the
Yes, you're right.
namespace,
So my
and that
question
you
is
have
this,
exposed by using this particular
right?
port.
Exactly. My question is this: what Minikube is running in the background to host this application? Is it like Tom, or it's a proprietary thing it's running, or is it the Docker image itself that's able
So
to
it's
run that?
Minikube is itself, it's having the Docker image, correct? But it's
Right.
internally like Kubernetes, all required components it's deploying, means let's say kube API server or the controller manager, all required things, kubelet, which is mandatory for Kubernetes cluster. So it's
Okay. So
internally
it
Docker
has
container
everything.
only.
Okay, so it has its own way of hosting it, like
Yes,
yeah, and whereas this one that we tested earlier, and I think I sent I don't know if this is the one, yeah, this application. Now this is deployed on the cluster, so I know this is
correct,
cluster ID, and then this is on the load balancer on Amazon. So this is
correct,
probably running on some Tomcat or whatever. We don't know. That's AWS is doing at the background.
correct.
All we get,
So
we deployed
on
it.
it's similar like AWS on AWS it has deployed the Kubernetes cluster that names is AKS, and
Okay.
on top of that you have deploy your application, and now you are
And
able
the
to access it
same thing I
via
can do in
service.
Azure also, right, Mahesh sir?
Correct,
The
correct.
Azure I
Yeah.
can do also. Okay,
Yes.
that's all I wanted to know. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You can give me access back again. Just make a host for me. Atif, I think you need to give access to me again.
Yeah, sure. Can you tell me where I do that?
Click on that more and
More?
make
Okay.
host. Okay. I am
Okay.
able to get access to me. Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Uh, okay. So I hope means AI related use cases also you guys understand. So you can ask the questions and get those things from here, correct?
Yes.
So, and ask any type of questions, all assignments which we have did in the current batch that you can solve within minutes only, correct? By using the AI, because before 1 2 years AI was not there, and we need to face multiple challenges, try and error things. But now with the AI, it's very easy, correct, to troubleshoot issues or get the knowledge base with you with learning things, correct? So let's
जी
complete.
तेजिंदर जी
जी सर मैंने जस्ट